Create WBS. Let's discuss about it. How to eat an elephant? One piece at a time. How to deliver a project? One deliverable at a time. When you look at the complete project scope and the deliverables, it may look overwhelming, confusing, challenging, even may look like almost impossible to do it, just like eating an elephant. But once you start splitting down the deliverables into more detailed and more manageable activity, then everything looks possible. I'm sure you'd have created a detailed list of activities like this one. You have big scope on the top and you divide the scope into smaller deliverables as you go down. Let's get into the details. Let's learn about three key terms from our construction project. Don't worry if you don't understand the activity's name and the way they are grouped. They are specific to construction industry. So just focus on the concept. On the top, you have the project title as construction. You divide the project into two major deliverables. First as rough-in and the second one as trims. From there, you divide the project components into four major packages such as HVAC, plumbing rough-in, electrical rough-in, and specialty rough-in. The HVAC is further divided into activity level. Similarly, plumbing is divided into activities, same for electrical and specialty. The trims are further divided into interior trims and HVAC. The interior trims are divided into detailed activities and the HVAC trims as well. As you observed here, the approach is from the top. In the top, it's the project, the big picture, that is divided into two major categories. Those two major categories are divided further into groups. Those groups are divided further into activity level, which are at more manageable pieces. So this is called as top-down approach. Let's move further to understand few more terms. As discussed earlier, the last detail in the hierarchical plan is called as activity. You create multiple activities to deliver a work package. There can be multiple group of activities. The activities are grouped under a logical heading is called work packages. There can be multiple work packages. Again, the work packages are grouped under a common heading that logically connects all the work packages are called as control accounts. There can be multiple control accounts. Again, they're kept under a common heading that logically connects multiple work packages. The main purpose of having control account is not only to consolidate the scope, schedule, and cost of work packages, but also they allow to report about the project progress in terms of scope, schedule, and cost in an integrated way. The multiple control accounts are grouped under the project title. Now, let's understand how the cost aggregation is done. Let's start from a random activity, maybe from work package 1.3. Let's say the first activity will cost $10. The second activity will cost $20. The third and fourth activity, $15 each. The activity costs are aggregated to the work package level, which gives a cost of $60 for the package. Let's say we do the similar calculation for all the work packages and we arrive at a number $100, $40, and $300. And these work package cost is aggregated to the next level. So we arrived at a number 100 plus 40 plus 60 plus 300, which is equal to 500. Let's say a similar estimation is done for another cost account and we get a number as $1,000. These cost accounts are aggregated at project level and we arrive at the project cost estimate of $1,500. And that's it. I hope with this discussion, you got a good idea about activities, work package, control account, and how the cost is aggregated from activity level to work package level to control account level and to the project level. During this approach, we started from project activity level, then moved upward direction to work package by aggregating the activities. Then moved one level above to consolidate work package, to control account, then went up by one more level to consolidate everything at project level. It's the same approach adapted to do cost estimation as well. We start everything from the bottom and move towards the top. So it's called bottom up estimation. There may be occasions where you do project estimation using top down approach, where from high level project plan, you divide it into multiple control accounts. And from there, you divide them into multiple work packages and the work package to activity. On other occasions, you may have to approach the project from activity level, that is bottom up approach. Let's talk about another important terminology, WBS dictionary. I hope you remember that WBS is a group of logically sequenced activities. To manage the work breakdown structure efficiently, often the project manager creates every detail about that particular WBS. Please note that those details can be simple or as detailed as possible depending on the project. Let's look at a sample template. WBS dictionary provides description of the work to be done. It can contain information about work package such as work package number, work package description, control account number, the responsible individual or organization, start and end date, duration, deliverables, the predecessor and successor activity, estimated cost, and who uploaded, etc. Let's look at an example of already filled in WBS dictionary. Just like the project scope, even the WBS dictionary also indicates the boundary of each work package, indicating clearly what is part of that work package. It is not necessary that all the information in the WBS dictionary, such as interdependencies, will be filled in during the first draft itself. As more information is available, they will be added during the iterations. The WBS dictionary can even include the list of acceptance criteria of each deliverable. So, during the creation of WBS, ensure that the final deliverables matches with the WBS. Again, as mentioned earlier, these details can vary depending on the type of project and the organization. And very important thing to remember, WBS dictionary will not be for activity, but for the WBS at work package level. So naturally, WBS dictionary will be for WBS work package, not for the activity. At times, WBS dictionary is used as a part of work authorization system. What is work authorization system? We will discuss in a minute. Now, let's look at the definition of create WBS again. Create WBS is the process of subdividing project deliverables and project work into smaller, more manageable components. It's a hierarchical decomposition of total scope. The creation of a WBS is an effort to decompose deliverables into smaller components called work packages. We had a detailed discussion about WBS, so I think it should be easy to list down the benefits. Let's do it together. WBS is not only dividing the project into smaller and more manageable pieces, but also helps to organize them as group so that you can plan the step-by-step work to be executed. As the execution starts, you will have greater control on overall deliverables. You get a clear picture on what is delivered, and what is in progress, and what is in queue, which to be delivered tomorrow, next week, next 15 days, next month, next quarter, next 6 months, next 1 year, so on and so forth, if it's a multi-year project. The scope is decomposed, divided into more manageable pieces, and that becomes WBS. With the help of WBS, the project defines the clear scope and the boundaries. In fact, what is not in WBS is not part of the project. The WBS organizes and defines the total scope of the project. No project is done without a change. Any change proposed will and should go through the change control process. This is something we are discussing from beginning time and again. Once changes are approved, they become part of the project. The project scope baseline has to be updated. We have listed all the work that to be carried out in the project in a very detailed manner. So it's impossible to miss out anything. With the list, it's become easier to do the estimation, right? When I say estimation,
I mean, estimation of schedule, estimation of cost, estimation of resources, everything. This detailed estimation helps the management to understand the project details easily, and it helps to approve the project fund. By looking at the WBS, the team member can understand how each deliverable will fit into the overall project final delivery, and also this gives them the indication of impact of failed deliverables in each component of the project. This makes them to be more responsible in terms of adhering to the schedule and quality. Even a new project team member can understand the project deliverables and his roles in the project. This detailed list of activities help the stakeholder to understand about their deliverables so they can contribute to the project more efficiently. It becomes easier for the stakeholder to highlight their missed out requirements in case if any. The project acceptance criteria becomes evident so every stakeholder will be on the same page. This helps to prevent the scope creep. When changes are requested, it becomes easy for the project manager to manage it in an integrated way because you have the baseline scope and the changes. It becomes easy to verify the final deliverable against the WBS. In fact, this detailed activity list helps to identify the risks that are pertaining to each activity. So, developing a detailed list of risks becomes easier. Communication to stakeholders becomes easier. Let's think for a while what can happen if there is no WBS. Without WBS, it would be very difficult to know what is in project and what is not in project. There will not be any clarity on what is supposed to be delivered as a part of project. Just few points to remember. A WBS should be created by the project manager using input from team and other stakeholders. The entire project should be broken down into multiple WBS. When breaking down the project into multiple WBS, it should be done progressively and the WBS should have link with each other towards the final product of the project. So, the highest level of WBS will indicate the final project objective. A WBS includes only the project deliverables that are required. Deliverables that are not included in the WBS are not part of the project. The level in the WBS are often numbered. This helps to identify the location easily. This process is performed once or at predefined points in the project. Many people confuses the term WBS and decomposition. Let's clarify it. Decomposition is the process of breaking down the deliverables into smaller pieces. Decomposition can be done by the top-down approach, meaning starting from the top, that is, the high level of the project, or bottom-up approach, starting at the work package level or in combination of both. The approach is totally depending on the project. In all approaches, the objective is to deliver the final project with all the deliverables. Please do note that some people say deconstruction instead of decomposition, both terms meaning the same thing. Now, it's time to understand work authorization system. What is authorization? A written permission or direction, right? So, what is work authorization? A written permission or direction to begin the work. It could be on a specific schedule activity or work package or control account. I hope you remember during our discussion about WBS dictionary, there was a column about authorization. Nowadays, the work authorization is done through software. The software can have steps, documents, tracking system, defined approval level that are needed to issue work authorization. An easy way to remember about work authorization system is it's part of WBS or WBS dictionary. At times, people get confused whether WBS or WBS dictionary is part of work authorization system. WBS is just a hierarchical detail of the work that to be carried out to achieve the project deliverables. With work breakdown structure, you will not be able to assign the work to the because it's just the hierarchy, list of activities. You don't have the details about activities in the work breakdown structure. You need the details about what activity has to be carried out, when it should start, when it should end, etc. etc. The WBS dictionary will contain those information. So naturally, WBS dictionary is part of work authorization system, not merely the WBS. Before we move to the summary, there is another terminology you should be aware of. That is planning account. When we develop WBS, not every time we complete the schedule. There may be occasion where enough details are not available to complete the schedule. Of course, we detail the work content but won't do the scheduling. Those are called as planning account. All right, now let's quickly summarize what we discussed so far. Then we will jump into the next topic. Work package. Look at the word package. So it's a package, meaning it's not an individual activity, rather group of activities. Work package is a graphical representation of project hierarchy. Work package identifies all the deliverables to be completed. If it's not in the WBS, it's not part of the project. The work package should list every activity that to be carried out in the project. It's the foundation upon which the project is built. Work packages are very important and should exist in every single project. One thing you should keep in mind, the lower level of plan will be an activity. The lowest level of group of activities are called as work packages. Work packages can be reused in other projects as well, but remember, they do not show the dependencies. In WBS context, work means a result of an activity, or we call them as deliverables. Just remember, work package is not an activity. It's a result of delivery of that activity. So, work package should consist of noun, the deliverables, not the action or activities. Okay, let's discuss the benefit of WBS. This helps to manage the project efficiently. The project deliverables become evident, helps to keep the scope intact, helps in doing the estimation of schedule cost resources, helps the team member to understand the deliverables, helps to understand the stakeholders to contribute, helps to manage the changes efficiently, helps to identify risk, and helps to communicate efficiently. Before we close, let's learn one more keyword, control account. A control account is a tool that allows you to collect and analyze the work performance data regarding scope, schedule, and cost in an integrated way. Remember, each work package in the WBS is assigned to only one control account. All right, that wraps up the overview. Let's move to the ITTOs.